portions, right? Can you break down exactly what coronavirus, COVID 1920? Tell us what it is.
Okay, so in the simplest terms we can make it, and from a nurse's point of view, it's a virus similar to the flu, because people are comparing it with the flu, but it's a different type of virus. And in general, viruses, their sole purpose is to attack. It doesn't matter who or what, they attack cells. They want to make the cells as much like them as possible, and then they'll move on. And once that cell looks like them, the cell dies. This particular virus is a respiratory virus. So when people start talking about the risk factors with you being over a certain age, having immune compromised health system, in all honesty, we don't have enough information out there to say, who, what, how, and when. But in general, if your lung capacity in some way is compromised and it can attack and cause your lungs not to function the way they're supposed to, it will do that. So in general, we need to slow the spread up. We've heard the language, slow the spread, stay to yourself, wash your hands, and follow those measures that have been put out by the federal government and the state government. And I guess to piggyback on that a little bit more, as a nursing professional, I see a lot of people trying to protect themselves with masks and gloves, and they're not using those things properly. It breaks my heart to know that, before I say it, I'm gonna go back a little bit. I'm a nurse of 12 years. I've raised baby nurses from, straight after school. Right after nursing school, and I spent a lot of my career doing that. So when I'm seeing my baby nurses struggling to get the things that they need to take care of the patients that are here and protect themselves, it breaks my heart. So with that, I just want to say, if you guys have these things that nurses need to protect themselves when they're coming in close contact with patients, I do recommend that maybe, instead of wearing them to go to the grocery store when you're not really protecting yourself, and donate it to somebody who could use it and actually protect themselves.
My first experience with cannabis, I was young. I was a teenager. It was spring break. I was about 15 years old. And of course, one of my best friends till this day, her older brother was his senior year. And of course, seniors, their 420 was their senior skip day. And so I was just curious about smoking cannabis. And at the time, I felt like I was with people who had been doing it for a long time. Probably not, but who cares at the time. And we roll up some. I remember my first time we smoked 4 blunts back to back. It was extreme. Like, my throat was on fire, but I couldn't act like it. I had to act cool. But I just remember, me and my friends, we just literally geeked to the point I felt like I had 6-pack. We were just laughing, had an amazing time. And every time I think of cannabis, it just reminds me, honestly, of a little bit of happiness. I love to laugh. I love to bring laughter to people. Cannabis helps me do that. It helps people think that I'm funny, whatever it is, because they're relaxed. And it has led me to working in the cannabis industry. For years, I was a server bartender. So me transitioning to what they call a bud tender in the industry, or at the places I've worked, a patient care advisor. Cannabis has just been my passion to just help other people, get relief from anxiety. Their mental health is just really something that I like to focus on, which I know a lot of people, they use it for pain and things like that, but a lot of with your mental health, your mood comes from your disorder sometimes. So, it can affect your mood is what I'm trying to say. So cannabis has led me to help other people and to see it in a different light and help remove that stigma. So that's my little part on that. Our next question is, what do you enjoy most about working or participating in the industry in Maryland? So, Keisha, did you want to answer that last question? Or did you already?
I gave my little spiel earlier, but I will say one of the things, just kind of jumping it off, one of the things that I love about this industry, whether it's participating, going to one of Blair's events, going to a networking event, or actually working in the industry, is building communities, because I see all of the threads of folks and bringing them together as a passion. So that's what I enjoy.
Yes.
I was able to get the course, and it is a 3-credit business course, BPA 227. It appears in the schedule catalog. If you take the course, you get 3 credits. If you need 3 credits of a business general elective, it counts for that. Mm-hmm. My real goal, though, and we spoke a little bit about this just briefly, is that I believe that the opportunity I think that the opportunities in the industry in terms of jobs are entry-level jobs. All right. And I think also that the key to that is having an actual degree program. And community colleges are perfectly set up for that, because we can have what are known as certificates. So these are less than 59 credits. They can be anywhere more than 11 credits and less than 59 credits. That's how they're defined here in the state of Maryland. And I think that would be perfect for an entry-level position in this industry. So about 2 years ago, I held a focus group at Anne Arundel Community College. I had probably 10 different growers in the room. I probably had 20 different dispensary owners in the room. I had processors in the room. I had a testing lab people in the room. I had Joy Strand in the room, who at the time was the MMCC chair. She brought along about Lori, I'm spacing on names now, Dotson. But yeah, Dotson. Mm-hmm. She literally brought along about 5 people from her executive staff, and we had a focus group. And listen, focus group is, and the way we do it in higher ed is called a DACUM, all right? And I don't even remember what the acronym stands for, DACUM. But basically what we're doing is we are trying to get what are known as the knowledge, skills, and abilities, and match them up to learning objectives in the courses. So what I did, and this was incredibly difficult for me because I had to shut up for 3 hours. I had to simply ask them, if you had an entry-level worker, what are the knowledge, skills, and abilities that you would want to see in those people? And for 3 hours, I basically let them go. I led them slightly through the discussion, and we came up with kind of 5 categories. And those 5 categories align perfectly with existing courses at Anne Arundel Community College. The only kind of preconceived notion I came into that focus group with, and you try not to have any, but I did have some because I'd been teaching for a couple of years the class. I thought maybe there might be kind of a dispensary track, a processing track, and maybe a grow track.
Cannabis actually helps with my ailment and other ailments. So it was a major thing that stuck out was the endocannabinoid system, right? That kept playing in my head, endocannabinoid system. And I was intrigued that we actually have a system in our body that receives cannabinoids, right? And that was a mind blower, because it was like, oh, so what we've been taught is it's a drug, it's an issue, this huge stigma behind cannabis. It gave me a parallel. I was like, well, I was taught this way, but I want to learn a little bit more. I'm a truth seeker, right? I like to spread education as I go. So started digging a little bit deeper, started going to like bigger conventions, and went to Denver and ran into someone that had a farm. When I ran into someone that actually had a hemp farm, I was more intrigued. I was like, plants. I have a big passion for green and growing, and have a green thumb and growing fruits and vegetables and things like that. So when I went to the farm, I was like, oh my God, this is a cannabis farm. Like I was like lost for words, right? But once I built a rapport, got over the excitement, and actually learned why that company was doing what they were doing, I was like, oh my God, I got to try this. So luckily I got a sample. Everybody don't know, but Denver is like 10 years ahead of everybody, about 8 years ago. So I was I was in La La Land. Yeah, I was in La La Land, like this can't be. But I actually sat down, got proper communication, got samples. They told me to try it out. It was a game changer, right?